most evil thing a family member has done to you after a tragedy? My brother-in-law Vincent appointed himself guardian of child welfare the day his brother died. He left me a widow with 3 kids, but his idea of help was weaponizing CPS against me. It started 2 weeks after the funeral. I was drowning in grief, trying to keep my kids functional while planning a future without their father. Vincent showed up unannounced, walked through my house like a health inspector, taking photos. Just checking on things, he said. The kids deserve stability. 3 days later, CPS knocked. Anonymous report, unsafe living conditions. They found my house spotless, because even in grief, I'm not a slob. The investigator apologized, said it happened sometimes after a death. I thought it was a misunderstanding. 2 months after his first visit, my kids were finally back in school. I returned to work part-time. Vincent visited every Sunday, always a comment. Grace looks thin. Did Mason bruise his knee? Lily seems quiet. Like clockwork. CPS arrived the following week. Report, neglect and malnutrition. They weighed my kids, checked the fridge, interviewed teachers. Everything normal. The investigator frowned, mentioned this was unusual. I started connecting dots. By month 6, it was routine. Vincent's visits, his concern, then CPS, suspicious bruises from soccer practice. Behavioral changes that were just grief. Educational neglect when I let them take mental health days. Each investigation was humiliating. Kids pulled from class for interviews, neighbors watching, having to prove over and over that I was fit to raise my own children. Vincent would call after each visit, voice dripping with fake concern. I heard CPS came by. If you need help with the kids, just ask. Month 10 nearly broke me. The report alleged substance abuse. I had to take a drug test. My children were interviewed separately about my drinking. The investigator found my single bottle of wine in the fridge, the same one from my husband's funeral. That night, Lily, my 7-year-old, cried herself to sleep. Why do they keep asking if you heard us, Mom? That's when I started recording Vincent's visits. The pattern was obvious on video. He'd arrive, inspect everything, make leading comments to the kids. Does Mommy ever get angry? Do you wish you had more food? Would you like to live somewhere else? He'd plant seeds and harvest them for his reports. But I needed more. I needed proof it was him. The 11th report saved me. Sexual abuse concerns. They strip-searched my baby, photographed their bodies, made them describe every touch they'd experienced. My 3 children, already traumatized by losing their father, were traumatized again. The investigator was mortified, said this was clearly harassment, but they had to investigate every report. Policy. Apparently innocent until proven guilty. Doesn't apply to grieving mothers. That night, I did something I'd sworn I'd never do. I went through my dead husband's things, found Vincent's journal in a box of childhood memories. My husband had kept it, probably planning to confront him someday. Page after page of delusions. Vincent believed his brother had stolen their parents' love, gotten unfair advantages, lived the life Vincent deserved. The marriage, the house, the kids, all should have been his. And now, with his brother gone, he saw his chance. Detailed plans. Once I get custody, their college funds, sell the house. He wanted my children for their inheritance. He wanted to erase his brother by stealing his family. I knew then that playing defense would never work. Vincent wouldn't stop until he destroyed us or got what he wanted. Time to flip the script. I started with the evidence. 11 CPS reports in 11 months, all unfounded, all following his visits. Videos of him interrogating my children. His journal entries about custody and money. But the goldmine was his computer. He'd saved his passwords on my laptop during visits, thinking I was too grief-stricken to notice. I found it all. Google searches for signs of abuse to report. How to get custody from unfit mother. CPS investigation triggers. Template documents labeled report draft with my name. Screenshots of CPS websites. An email draft to his lawyer about preparing for custody once she cracks. That's when I realized I wasn't just building a defense. I was building his prison. I compiled everything into a file titled The False Reporter, a pattern of harassment. Sent it to CPS supervision, the district attorney, his employer, his church, where he was a deacon and youth counselor, even his ex-wife Diane, who'd lost custody of their son years earlier. Added a cover letter explaining how a grieving widow and her orphan children were being tortured by a man who wanted their money. The state took it seriously. 11 false reports in under a year? That's criminal. Vincent was charged with filing false reports, harassment, stalking, and attempted fraud. His employer fired him immediately. Turns out, elementary schools don't like CPS fraudsters. His church stripped his positions, but the real karma came from Diane. She used my evidence to challenge their custody arrangement. Seems he'd done the same to her, but she hadn't been able to prove it. Now Vincent gets supervised visits with his own son. 2 hours a month with a court-appointed observer. He sends me letters, swearing he was just trying to help, begging to see his nieces and nephew. CPS flags every call from his number. The boy who cried wolf finally lost his voice. My kids sleep peacefully, knowing no one's coming to question them anymore. And their inheritance? Safely protected by restraining orders and criminal records. You wanted my children for their money, Vincent? Now you can't even afford to see your own son. How's that for stability?